piece of him, and then once he gets by, then he is just gonna sit down. He's gonna sit down and he's looking across the field for crossers. If he doesn't get a crosser, then he's gonna start sinking, trying to help, you know. They've heard me say 1,000,000 times, I don't want you covering grass. I want you covering routes. And so try to find that route, try to find something else. You know, look for something, if a back's coming out, of course, there's a threat to the flat. If there's a crosser coming, take it. If it's not there, start sinking, start working. Try to look and find what the route is and see if you can get into it, you know, helping the route.
Coach, if you're in cover 4 and number 2 runs a wheel, who covers it?
All right, good question. Man, I hadn't thought of this in a long time either. All right, every time we play cover 4 and they come out with 2 receivers, both these guys, they're giving this deal. They're saying bench alert, bench alert. They're alerting themselves. That doesn't mean it's going to happen, but they're alerting themselves. He's going to click and bail. He's creeping. All right. Now, if 2 breaks out, that free safety is hollering out, 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 out. Now, let's say this guy did this. Then he knows now they made a bench alert call. So when 2's running out, he knows the bandit's going to take care of anything flat. So he starts leveling. Free safety now is going to inherit number 1. And now the corner is going to take over that out and up. Because that, I guarantee you, that will happen. You can tell that offensive mind working there. That will happen if you were cover 4 without that bench alert call.
But the beauty of it is, and I remember playing you, well, I knew you were going to be in 4 if we had a tight end, but
Right.
if you're calling 4 and
Right.
we have a slot, we don't know it's coming.
Right. That's right. Now, this is how we changed up. This is one way of changing up. If you have a tight end, you know, say you had that. Then we may play cover 2 over here. We could play 2. Normally, if we got that, we were going to play cover 4 because we wanted our safeties forcing. But if we saw people that were starting to realize that, well, people started running the slant. That was the first thing. So, you know, if we were strong, we had our bandit right here. Well, I mean, whether we were strong or cheap, he's going to be outside there. There were several things we could do. We could say this safety could start hollering to him. He could start hollering lock, 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 lock. That meant we were going to lock up that bandit on the tight end, and we could play cover 2 lock, or 4 lock. If we were going to play, if they were hurting us with the slant, and we want to try to take that away, then we're probably going to play 4. He's going to bail. He's creeping up. He doesn't care. All he's wanting to find is a run or pass, and he's coming to that thing. Against Rio Rancho in our last regular season game in 2011, our safety, and I knew Rio Rancho knew this, and so right off the bat we call 4 lock, and they came out in this, and our safety just drops a touch, you know, TD for 6 right there, and I mean they don't make the pass, but he just literally drops it. So the next play they come back, we call it again. I figured they were going to go slanting up, and they do. But when he click and bail and he starts in, he knows the free safety, and so he just sat back here and waited on it, and he nearly got the pick on the next play. But like I say, we could play 2 lock, or, and by the way, if we play 2, here's number 2 now. there's one, we've already locked up there, so if the back come out, he's gonna catch, ride, come off, free safety, you know, we play cover two. So that was a little bit of a change up. If,
Coach, what's your technique for your bandit that when he's locked up? How you just put him on top of him, or?
yeah, luckily we have a pretty good guy that can play. And we just told him, hey, when that guy, if he looks like he's coming on, get into him and try to hold him up, and then, hey, you run with him, because I think you're a better athlete than that tight end is. Now, whether or not we tried to get him inside, we'd like to get him inside, but I don't want to get him in there and then they run.
What about on goal line, like you're in a 2 or 3 yard line, you have a wide out, would you play your corner inside though?
Yeah, if it was right up on the goal line, we're gonna get inside. We're gonna take away that stuff. We have in the past, we didn't ever do it at Cleveland, but in the past, if people were, were hurting us with that, there is some time we'd make a call where this corner would jump inside, and we might lock it, and he immediately got over the top, and he jumped the inside. I just didn't ever think we were very good right here, but that was another thing we did, because the slants, when you're in cover 4, they're a problem with a tight end there. So.
Did you ever do the lock call with the slot receiver out there?
We could, if that guy's good enough, we really could, and I think he was. We didn't do that, but we never really had, the problem was, everybody, like you said, everybody pretty much knew that if we got a tight end, we wanted that safety force, especially teams that ran the ball like y'all did and ran them well, then they knew that, so they're gonna run that slant. In our game with y'all, this guy we had playing here, he wasn't even a corner. He really was about a third or so backup safety. Wasn't a real good, but anyway, he was in there because there was just not many left. Well, we were in there, he clicks and bails, and this thing is wide open, and y'all catch it, and he ran, and this guy, like I said, old Sal found a acre, he comes up here and somehow he hits the ball, and remember it just falling out?
Yeah,
It
we
made
dropped
about
it.
8 yards, and the ball fell out.
The slant looks open, and you're
Yeah.
only gonna complete it a couple times before you guys
Right,
get hip to it.
exactly. And, and that was nothing, that was no coaching, that was just blind luck but anyway, that is something that hurts.
So inside the 10, you're gonna be man. What are you gonna do there?
If it's real tight, now, if we were probably in about I think we used to say 4 yard line or inside, then we were gonna start playing just zero, what we call zero, just man to man. Man all the way across and get inside.
And you bump with motions.
Yeah, well, not all the way across. If we were lined up, let's say they came out like this, and we were manned up, and this guy motioned across, and he's gonna come across to here, he's gonna bump, we try to keep that same relationship. We didn't run him all the way. I don't know, you can't, we just always started hollering bump, 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 bump. But we were gonna get inside, try to take away the inside routes. We played when offense, especially like during the spring, when we were doing a lot of stuff after school. They'd be running those goal line routes, and so I'd get those guys over there, and we'd start working, a lot of just this man-to-man stuff. If if these guys got real tight together and we were gonna make a combo call, he was gonna take the first outside cut, first inside cut, you know, that type of deal. Of course, you can, you know, I mean, you can run both inside, but, anyway, I mean, we would work some of that. And we got where we could play a little bit. We worked some of that press, you know, where we'd try to press up inside and take away the inside route and looking at nothing but, you know, down low and try and play it, but luckily we never got down there. I mean, never had to play a lot, very much of it. So,
What about, did you do on the, as far as the goal line defense?
a couple of things. One thing, I think cheat is a great goal line defense. So if we didn't run cheat, we ran this thing. We brought in another lineman. We had a tackle. We brought in another nose type guy, and we would line up like this. Let's say they were two tights. Now, he's gonna be here, he's gonna roll up, corner outside. Let's say they come up and something like that. We call that cheat eagle. We were gonna be cheat, he probably is gonna be up here. We're gonna play cheat, and then we brought in that extra guy, and it was an eagle. He's playing that nose position like we played, where we talking about he's gonna be that backside gap player. So if the center zone him, he's gonna take him on, but knowing that he's got the backside. Mike was looking at that. If he saw that, he's coming down hard to A gap. If this thing closed off, then he's gonna break on out to it.
Where's the free play?
Oh, okay.
Over the top, okay.
So, that was what called cheat eagle, but, I thought we got good enough playing cheat, just regular old cheat front, that if they lined up in the same thing, then we were gonna be like this. We're probably gonna lock up. If it was real close to the goal line, we'd even put him up in that A gap and just try to, you know, go get it, just not to give them an open gap. And let the Will be more of a runner. You know, if everything went this way, then we want him to try to run, and, you know, let him be an alley player or a lane player.
So coach, pretty much any time if you're in cheat, and if you have no receiver on the weak side, your rover's gonna come up.
That's right.
What if you're not in cheat?
If we were playing strong,
Yeah.
okay, all right, we kind of do the same thing, we just make a different call. We're gonna have him here. Our rover's still gonna come up, and he's gonna say tough. He's making a tough call. So he's coming up like a linebacker. Our Will is cheated over quite a bit. You know, Mike's still in the same place. If we were, you know, playing it like that's how we would look.
And so the rover's taking,
Rover
Taking
is
first out.
keying him. If he blocks, I'm gone. If he releases, he's shuffling down, he's working out, corner's gonna take him. So it's that gap exchange.
how much did you work all that?
Depending on the week, I mean, if we knew we were gonna be in some strong, we worked. It was just something that, once they got it down, it was a pretty easy thing to do.
Cause
You
it was
know?
all you did. If you
Yeah,
got that
that's
set,
all
that
we
was what
did.
you did. I remember you guys doing that weird stuff where
Right.
you bring your safety down as like a
Right.
backer.
Yeah,
Okay, well, what about, we haven't gone this set, what about trips with the tight end on the other side?
okay. All right. Okay, if, let's say we call, Strong, and we're gonna, let's say we call Strong to the tight end side this week. So we would look like this. We're gonna have a corner. Now, the only time we roll is week, so here we go again, that same old deal, you know. We're probably gonna play cut two, could play dollar. We could put him right on top of this guy and bang him, play dollar, you know, he's playing a quarter. He'd be outside, click and bail, he's playing a quarter. You know, he's a flat player, he's working the wall, three. He's man-to-man on tight end. Our bandits, man or got anything comes out, weak side. So that would be one way to play that if we were strong or cheap. You know, it doesn't matter.
So you're gonna go into a game saying, they run this set, this is the way we're gonna play.
That's right.
This week.
And that's what we've practiced.
Now, what if they hadn't run this set yet? What if you played a team week two?
We've just done it so much that if we said, okay, we said they're coming out in a tight end with three wides, hey, Mike, let's call strength to the tight end. Let's go strong and secondary, let's roll up, let's play cut two. Or let's play dollar.
Would you ever play strong to the tight and just cover two to the weak side?
Now, if we wanted to call strength to this side,
Oh, so you wouldn't do that though? You wouldn't play Sam here and not cut or dollar
Right,
on the other
right.
side?
yeah,
Okay.
so if we wanted to call strength this side, let's say we were cheap, we wanted to do this. Again, we're gonna bring that Raider up because of the tight end, got a corner.
So you're still gonna play that end and it goes seven. There's a tight end there, we're
Yeah,
go seven.
right. Mhm. More than likely, if we're in this deal, now, we did this against Mayfield, and it worked pretty good, but, they would give us some of this, and so we were gonna play, Robber with this guy, because he's already lined up in that position, so we said, all right, if we call Robber, then Raider, you're locking on to the tight end. If he released, we're telling Will, you got the back. So right now, then we're gonna play cover two. He's working to rob number three, you know.
So Robber, the rover covers the tight end.
If we lined up like that, yeah. Yeah, if we lined up like this, and he says, hey, I'm Robber, I'm gone. So he knows, I've got him man to man, tells Will, or we could combo it. We could say, okay, we're gonna combo this thing. Probably not, but we could. But anyway, we're gonna say, we got him man to man. You've got him, you know, if he comes out weak, you've got him. And we're gonna rob, we're gonna play cover two, Robber. If we didn't wanna do that, then we could play, dollar, quarter, bang him, set, still working number three. And if this was the case, we're gonna say you've got him man to man. And by the way, we'd make a queen, just like we'd make that queen call, if it was option that way. But we may say, all right, if that tight end releases and it's pass, and that back's not coming, go get it. We did that quite a bit with him if we were lined up the other way. And we'd bring him from the backside and he could raise havoc. if we call cheat to this thing, which is not bad, cause you're putting wheel out here, we're gonna roll up whatever coverage we wanna call over here, whether we call dollar, we call cut two, whatever, and we would tell him, hey, if there's no threat your way, bring it, come on, if it's fast, bring it, well, no one would block him, you know, and he would, hurt that quarterback. Cause he was a guy that liked that, you know, and we could line up that way, so, I know, you know, it may look like a lot, but when you start looking at it, they're doing the same things, you know. They're either playing cover two and all the cover two concepts, or they're playing cover four, or if you give them 3 receivers, we're either gonna play cover two robber, or we're gonna play dollar. Could play that steal, you know, that coverage for the bubbles and all that stuff if you wanted to. But it wasn't it was just a special, something if we had to have it. So they're doing those same things over and over and over and over, you know, and, that got to where they could do it in their sleep. I mean, you know, it wasn't anything new to them.
What would you do on a typical day with your secondary guys?
Let's say early in the year, I'd start them out. I'd, you know, get all corners, you know, in line to put all free safeties in line, you know, on a 5-yard marker. I'd put all rovers, however many they are, you know, and they're on lines. And then I'd be the old fat coach right here. Anyway, get the first 4 out here. The first thing I was looking for was their stance. I wanted them to be in a great stance. So this guy's gonna pop out here. He's gonna be at a 45-degree angle. That free safety is gonna pop out. He's gonna have his inside foot up. He's gonna have his elbows ready to start walking. A Raider's gonna do the same thing. Corner, that 45-degree. Now, when we started, which corners don't do a lot of backpedaling, but I wanted them to know how to backpedal. So, you know, let's say we're gonna backpedal in home. Then they're gonna backpedal on that line, and what I'm looking for is first of all, did those safeties push off with that front foot? Are they gaining ground? Are they staying down low? I'm gonna say, you know, they're gonna take off, they're gonna go, and then I'm gonna throw up, or, you know, drop that ball, and they're gonna plant, and as fast as they can backpedal and get straight back up the line, that, you know, that was backpedaling home. That was to get there. Then we were gonna do, backpedal in 45. And by the way, I started taking balls out for, you know, a ball for every line, and as many times as those guys can handle picking off a ball, even if it's no farther from me to you, and I throw it out, and they catch it with their hands. You know, we really worked hard catching it with our hands. So we'd go backpedaling home, and the next guy in line, he just has the ball, and he's gonna throw it at him. Sometimes we throw it pretty hard and make them catch that ball. Sometimes it's just lobbed out there, and they're having to reach up those arms and get them, or get up high over their head and catch the ball. Just catch the ball as many times as you can. If we say backpedal 45, I'd be over here and I'd give them a backpedal, and then I'd backpedal and break it, point the ball down this direction, So they're gonna backpedal, and we use these 5-yard mark, and they've got to plant and drive on a straight line. I didn't wanna see them backpedal and, you know, make those wasted step stuff. They had to backpedal, plant, drive, and go, and make that straight line back to the, and these guys, they just have a ball and they're gonna throw it out to these guys, and they're gonna reach out there and get it. And we had a call, we said Oski. Again, that's just an old Permian deal, but Oski, our side's got it. And if they hear Oski, you know, and every one of them, that's the other thing. When we're out there and I went like this, every one of them said, pass, pass, pass. Everybody in line started hollering, pass, 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 as loud as they could, trying to get them to communicate. And do it, and do it, and do it. And if about half of them are doing it, well, then we're fixing to go down and do some up downs, or, you know, do what, and make a point of it, not waste too much time, but we're gonna make a point that we're not, you know, everybody's not sounding off. Throw that ball out there, make them reach out and get the ball. And then, when they got the ball, when I did this and the ball came out, they were all hollering, ball, ball, ball. Just those old, you know, stuff that all secondaries do. You know, that was backpedal 45. We would do what I call W drill. We'd backpedal. I'd break them. I'd start them here, and then I'd give them a ball up again. Of course, they're going to turn and run, and then I'm going to give it back to them again. You know, they're just making a W. It's just a change of direction type deal. So that was our W drill. We had backpedal 90. We were going to backpedal, and then now they're going to plant that foot and break straight. Again, we're looking for straight breaks, no wasted steps, no round off and get into it. Straight step, and then everybody's going to be throwing a ball, and they're all talking, they're all Oskiing if they catch it, and the whole bit.
Do they know which way beforehand they're gonna break or no? Okay.
I tell them it's gonna be 90, they don't know which way, so you know, everybody's saying pass, 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 pass. Then I'll give it that, and then I'm probably throwing to one, you know, this line, and then these guys have the ball.
So these corners, are they click and bailing the whole
No,
time?
that's the deal. Right now, we're just early, like during spring, we'd be working just fundamental stuff. Now, then we would get to a point where I felt like, they've been back there, they don't back there any. So there's times where we click and bail and do the same drills, same thing, just to get them in their more natural deal. We go backpedal, break 90. We go backpedal, break deep 45. And again, they've got to go. We go backpedal, break, and then doing the old baseball turn. And what we're looking for is, you know, their backpedal, break, and then we give them that turn. And as fast as they can throw that elbow around, and their head's coming back around. And we're trying to get the ball out there as fast as we can to make them get their head around. And that goes back to those safeties, you know. Once they've backpedaled, turn those hips, now they've got a speed turn. So, we do that. And we'd go backpedal and deep ball. And we'd break and try to throw the ball right on the line and try to throw it over their head where they're trying to get to the ball. Those are just some real fundamental stuff as far as just secondary. So we'd spend maybe 10 minutes, you know, doing those things. But most of it is technique and footwork, but most of it is getting them to talk, getting them to communicate. Then that may be a time, then we'd break. I might take the corners, all the corners, and we're gonna work on, first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna shuffle and catch. Shuffle and catch. First, I'm gonna release that receiver either straight up or a little bit inside, where they've got to shuffle, 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 catch. And I wanna see their hands in the right spot, and then I want that receiver to keep going, and I wanna see them get that underneath inside trail position. And I want, I tell them, we don't have a number 2 out there, but I want to see your head looking like there's number 2 out there. So first,